Today on Laredo College Student Stories, we're going to talk to Daniel Teniente. Danny, how are you?
I'm very good. Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you. Yeah, nice to meet you. My pleasure. We're in the Maravilla gym. There's a boxing, what do you call it, a punching bag behind us, and we'll get into why that is in just a little bit. But first, tell me about yourself. How long have you been here at Laredo College? When did you start? Things like that.
And this is my second year in college. I started last year in August 2024. College was, when I first got to college, it was, very rude awakening to reality. This is life. You are on your own. You are your own caretaker. And well, it's like you're getting pushed into life. I didn't start my best. I didn't start the best in college. As a matter of fact, I failed nearly 4 classes in a row when I first got to college. So, it was a very rough time, as well as I was working a job as I'm doing school. So, that's something to juggle. Coming straight out of high school. High school, you baby a lot and, you frolic and everything. But now it's college. It's a lot more serious. You still have time for free time, but you have significantly less free time here and there.
So where did you go to school? Elementary, middle, high school?
So elementary, I went to Melton Elementary, and for middle school, I went to Lamar, and as well as high school, I went to Nixon.
All right. So you came in through the LISD system. And as a senior, Danny, what did you think? Did you think right away, I'm going to go to college? Was that always on your mind, or?
Well, it was on my mind for different reasons. For one, is, my parents always, they always push me to that expectation. You're going to college, there's no questions asked, you're going to college. So, I had almost no choice at the same time. As every household, your parents, when you're very strict, they push you for better things, better and bigger things. So your college was a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to go to college. There's no way I wasn't. Otherwise, well, I'm going to hear, my parents speak billion to one words of why I should go.
Yes.
Therefore, college was a no-brainer. Of course I went to college. Of course I had to.
Were you a good student in high school and so forth?
Not a good student, yeah, it's a little 50-50.
Yeah.
For example, I wouldn't say troublemaker to the point where, I'm causing so much disruption and, causing myself to get in trouble a lot. It's more or less I had a very big mouth, very vocal, very out of pocket, in other words, as well as, it's like I spoke my mind too much to the point where it's like, okay, slow down, you slow your roll, think about what you're going to say before you say it, therefore you won't get in trouble. That's the type of student I was, that's the type of person I was all in high school. And, it's not, didn't quite, I wouldn't say mature, I would say more or less, I didn't quite get to the point like, okay, you're a grown up now, you don't got to act like this, you are 18.
So maybe you didn't take it as seriously as some who were considering college did.
Oh, yeah, no, I did not take it seriously at all.
But you got through it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so you said that it was a little difficult coming into college. Before I go down that route, did you consider anywhere else? Did you consider staying at, or maybe at TAMU or going out of town, or you always said all over college?
Well, I always had, dreams like, maybe the best public school in Texas is UT Austin. That was always, that was my first thought in my mind. At the same time, my GPA wasn't the best in high school. It was not below average, just average.
Yeah.
Therefore, I had to say, okay, and my parents convinced me to stay home, stay close to home, save money. It's either LC or TAMU. TAMU is a 4-year degree, and it's a little more expensive. Rather, Laredo College is you get a 2-year degree, and it's less expensive. As a matter of fact, it's faster as well. So, Laredo College was a good pick for me, not only to save money, but time and, many opportunities, because I still didn't know what I wanted.
Sure.
That was another issue I had.
Yeah. But when you got here, it was a little tougher than you expected?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for example, in high school, I never studied. I never that I ever study. It was always, okay, this is too easy. I'm just going to get this over.
Yeah, somehow you passed, right?
Somehow I passed. I managed to get C's all over until I got to college. And it's like, okay, you know what? Professors are there, tell you the information, but it's your job to, still go back in that information and further discuss it with yourself.
Yeah.
It's yourself. You are your own team. And I learned that the hard way.
When did you realize that you were on a path to probably not passing the classes that you didn't? When did that kind of hit you?
So that hit me the first 2 semesters. So in LC, I took in 2 classes when I first started. I felt both. It was biology and lab. The second 8 weeks, which is right before December, the Christmas holiday break we have, I also failed 2 classes. It was government as well as psychology. And right then and there, my parents were they were flat out on me about it, especially my dad. My dad was very vocal about, if you don't pass, and look where you're going to end up. So that was just, a rude awakening. All right, it's time to stop messing around. It's time to, really get my things together and focus up on, what I have in front of me, not what's behind me.
So it wasn't really the material per se, it was just the commitment, the time commitment of actually realizing, okay, nobody's going to help me with this. Like in high school, if I need it, like I've got to do this on my own.
Oh yeah,
Right? Pretty much.
that was the sobering truth, and that was the reality of there's nobody else that's gonna help you. It's yourself versus yourself. And as it taught me, yes, for college to be focused, but it also taught me a lesson that applies for life. That's everywhere. It is yourself versus yourself, and I took that with a grain of salt, and really turned myself around from failing to I'm passing. Since then, that's the last time I failed to pass. Thankfully, I also took summer courses, so I'm passing currently. I'm
Nice.
doing amazing.
Congratulations. What adjustment did you make that helped you to pass those classes?
Flat out answer is study, study. I
Higher
did.
detail, right?
Oh yeah, that's the flat answer. Study, making time for school. Of course I work as well as I have other external chores, but at least an hour to 2 hours a day for school, and that's speaking upon assignments and study. I didn't do none of that in high school. I was running around doing God knows what that I knew was wrong, but this time it's like I took time to school. When you study, you do better. When you review it at least 10 times, you'll get it. And I learned that.
The first year that you were here that you were failing, did you realize that there were resources on campus that you could go to, or did you just kind of ignore all?
Yeah, I 100% ignored it, and they've told us a billion times, hey, we got tutors. There's open books. There's a library where you can get resources, that somebody else from, let's say, 5 years ago wrote and took the exact same thing you're taking. And I didn't take any of those at all. I didn't even think about it. I thought about, man, what am I going to do later on today? Am I going to go home or am I going to go to the gym? But I used those resources to my advantage, and it worked out stupendously.
And those are all things that they point out at orientation. So whether you want to take it and run with it, and I think Mr. Rivera, the Director of Office of Student Life, he's got a slide, and I don't remember it. It says, we can lead the horse to water, or the palomino to water, but we can't make him drink. So the resources are there, we're telling you about them, but if you don't use them, then that's on you, right?
Oh yeah, it's literally spot on,
Yeah.
spot on.
And so I'm glad you made that change and that you're on a better path now. Did you pass any classes that first year?
First year, as a matter of fact, no, I think I did pass my government class. I got to double check. I do remember
Okay, good.
doing decent, but as for biology, that lab, psychology, oh, and history as well. History, disasters, a disastrous show. Not even close. I had to drop those classes. As a matter of fact, disasters.
Well, I failed algebra and history here at Laredo Junior College. So you're not alone, man. It happens. I mean, we're not ready for that adjustment. A lot of people are. Some people aren't. But the point is that you're now back on the right track. And what are your thoughts on Laredo College? I mean, do you like being here? What's the environment like? I guess.
It's a beautiful environment. Everybody here, of course, like I said, everybody has their own external chores as well as free time for friendships, conversations. Have some of the best conversations here as well as meeting new people. The staff here is amazing. I really like speaking with the staff. They are amazing. Just I cannot. There's a billion to one words I can say that is good about them, but one word that stands out: amazing, amazing. The whole staff here is amazing. The student staff as well. They are amazing.
So what is your plan? Do you want to get an associate's degree and then move on, or what are you thinking? You already know what you want to do after here?
Oh yeah, I've made up my mind. I do want to get my associates, and I'm gonna get my associates. After that, I want to get to the firefighting program, the firefighting academy.
Okay.
I've heard rumors that it's no longer going to be 18 and older; it's going to be 21 and older. But if you have a 2-year degree, they will let you apply, even if you're not 21 yet. So the next opening for the firefighting academy is May of next year. Therefore, I won't be 21 by then. So I'll get my around May next year. I'm going to get my 2-year degree. Therefore, I'll be prepared for firefighting academy.
Yeah. When did you decide that you wanted to be a firefighter? I mean, where did that come from? Is that something you wanted since you were little, or it just came up like recently?
It honestly just spontaneously came up. I had to meet one of the chiefs at this at a gym I go to, and he told me the benefits. He told me what you do. I personally am a very physical type of work. Like I can't sit in an office and do things. I can't do that. I need to be moving. And he told me what they do. The benefits are amazing. Benefits are amazing. You could potentially start early. You could retire at 50 with a beautiful savings 401k. They take care of insurance, everything. And that sounds really good. And as a matter of fact, my dad actually not too long ago had also mentioned, "Hey, firefighting is cool. Why don't you try something like that?" I never thought about it until now, and now I came to the conclusion that that's what I want, and I'm gonna get there.
So you've done your homework then when it comes to being a firefighter.
Oh yeah. When I spoke to that chief, he told me everything, and I got to study this. I got to be physically capable, and I'm a very active guy, so I'm very confident that I could handle the physical endurance that they have there. So I'm confident that I'm gonna get there. As a matter of fact, I am gonna get there. It's not. I'm not. Let's just put it like this. I'm not in preparation to win. I'm in preparation to win in spectacular fashion.
Nice.
That's the way.
Did you consider something else at any point, or I mean, were you thinking of other things you wanted to do?
Before that conclusion, I actually my degree here is health sciences. I always figured physical therapists.
Yeah.
They make very good money. It's just it is very difficult to get there, as well as it takes a lot of anatomy and anatomy classes, and they tell me that's a very tough course. It's a mental toll on you, as well as you got to remember so much information. But that's that was my initial thought before I chose to start to process myself into firefighting academy.
And I mean, you're young, so there's doors that can open later on down the line. You might change your mind. I mean, there's so many things you can still do if you change your mind. What's important is that you started out on the wrong foot. Now you're back on track. We're here in the gym. You're hanging around a lot of gyms, from what I understand, right? But we're in front of a punching bag. I understand you're a bit of a boxing fan and you're a boxer yourself. Tell me about that.
Yes, so I've always been into combat sports, MMA, jiu-jitsu, boxing. It's always intrigued me so much. It's amazing. It's an amazing sport, amazing hobby as a matter of fact. Little bit of high school, I dabbled in it. I'm a big fan of UFC. I watch that almost every weekend when I have off from work, of course. But big fan of that. So that's where my love for combat sports came from. So a little bit of high school, I dabbled in boxing. It wasn't until after high school when I really wanted to compete, and really make that almost a full time.
Yeah.
As a student. It's been the best decision ever. I feel so good. I feel healthy. I feel amazing. I wake up thinking I feel good. I feel amazing.
Now, you'd rather do boxing than try your hand at MMA?
Well, on that note, as you said, MMA, like the definition is mixed martial art. The abbreviation mixed martial arts. There's a mix of things. What I always thought, okay, let me master. If I want to pursue MMA, let me first master. First of all, let me know how to throw hands. Just put it that way. Let me learn how to throw hands. Okay, I think I got, I'm pretty good at it. Okay, at that point, let me move to kickboxing. Let me know how to throw kicks. Okay, I got that down. Now let me move to jiu-jitsu. Let me do judo. You master one at a time so you can, be very, very, how do you say, very familiar with mixed martial arts. I feel like if you just push yourself right into something that has a lot of, gist of it, you might not get on one, two, and stuff another turn. That's my mindset.
Well, and MMA is really that. It's as you mentioned, there's so many components. I mean, you can't just go into the box. Sometimes wrestling might be a person's forte, but they always know more than just one thing, and that's why you decided to go with boxing first. So where's that going? You think? I mean, have you fought yet? Do you want to fight? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I had a couple of amateur fights. Well, when I started, it was okay, learning the ropes. Within 1 week of training, they already had a fight for me ready. It was insane. And I just had to cut maybe 5 to 7 pounds easy. I'm a teenager, so it's easy for me. But
You had to drop 5 to 7 pounds or gain 5 to 7?
no, I had to job. So
Okay.
simple, very simple. And I felt good. I felt confident. You're confident right before, but once you're in there, it's like it all goes away. Like, okay, now you're really in there. And I was very nervous. No, I wasn't nervous, but then I got nervous as I got in that ring. And well, I lost my first amateur fight, but then after that, I started to train a lot more. I ended up joining at a Gorilla Fin boxing gym and worked out, and I learned some really good things from some coaches there and some people there, and I was able to do better from that point.
Yeah. So what happens now? How do you move forward with the boxing?
Well, for now, I'm looking at it as like, it's a little side hustle. I wouldn't say like it's a little side quest. It's a hobby. It's one of my favorite hobbies. For now, my focus is on college and further, career choices. But this is, a nice, fun hobby. Of course.
I don't consider getting hit a hobby with good head.
Oh yeah, no, it's fun though. Trust me, it's
Okay,
fun.
I take the word for it.
As well as it's fun. You're staying in shape.
Yeah.
You're keeping yourself active. You feel better throughout your day. Physically and mentally. Physically, okay, you feel physically good. You don't feel any cracks. You don't feel any bumps and bruises from external issues, as well as mentally.
Yeah. And as a firefighter, I mean, it works well, doesn't it? I mean, it goes hand in hand. You've got to be in shape, and you probably have time to do some boxing on the side as a firefighter too.
Yeah, they do. I heard that they do train hand-to-hand combat, as well as you got to be very physically. What's the word? Cardio heavy. It's a very cardio heavy. When you first get to the academy, I have friends that they got it. They tell me what they go through, and that sounds very similar to what I do. Honestly, man.
Yeah.
You got to run a couple miles. Okay, I do that. You have to do quick weight exercises, body exercises for calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, lots of running upstairs. That's something I do already, so it does go hand in hand.
Yeah. So, boxing or MMA, if you had your choice, to succeed in one, which would it be?
I would say it's a tough one. You think about it like I would say mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
Martial arts. You have a long list of accessibilities that you can have. Like you said, wrestling, judo, kickboxing. That sounds amazing. To have all those, I would 100% prefer.
Yeah. I watch UFC, and I don't know how you would want to get hit like that. I just don't, man. I mean, it's rough. It's a different. Boxing and MMA are just two totally different things. In fact, I think I prefer watching, MMA now. Other than the big fight in boxing, I think it's a lot of hype now, and it doesn't really come through sometimes. Sorry to all the boxing fans, but I mean, truthfully, man, UFC's rough stuff, man.
Oh yeah, it's very thrilling, as well as very gruesome.
Yeah.
You see guys get kind of but as a matter of fact, I think it's like a thing where they say MMA is a lot safer than boxing, because boxing, you take repeated blows to the head, and if you get knocked out, you get a concussion. You have 10 seconds to get up. If you get up, you're gonna go back to the fight. But
Yeah,
MMA, it's like they stop it right there. Oh,
That's true.
that's like
Still, man, I don't know how you want to open yourself up to that kind of pain, but okay. I mean, I hope you make it. I mean, maybe one day you'll be talking to Joe Rogan after your latest win in the UFC. That'd be pretty cool, right?
so awesome. That'd be amazing.
Don't forget us here in Laredo College if that happens. Okay?
Of course, of course.
Danny, So you'll be done with your associates next May then, is that accurate?
Yes.
So you come to school full time, you have a job and you go to the gym. How do you balance the three?
Um, put it, not balance it. Question. It's either, in the morning, wake up, it's just the gym. Then I come to class a little bit later in the morning, let's say 10 o'clock. Every day I have work at 4 to 10. That's my hours, 4 to 10. So pretty much it's like, the way I balance it is I really focus on three main things: my health, my my school, and as well as my chores. So if I just think of those three things, and I think of nothing else, of course, you have a little bit of free time to yourself. You go out, have fun. But besides that, I leave that for maybe once a week, as opposed to some people do it every day. Once a week, maybe even once a month almost. But more or less, it's like you gotta earn it. That's what I'm saying. I tell myself, oh, I'm gonna earn it.
Yeah.
But for the gym, for health, prioritize. That's a priority. I have to. I don't feel good about myself if I don't. I've been in that spot where, yeah, I've gained some weight and I don't feel good about myself. I feel very insecure, very not confident, but I got to keep myself, in the gym. I feel amazing, after that as well. So my confidence stays up and so does my performance in anything.
That's interesting. That's fascinating because you see the physical side of it as being important to the rest, to your studies, because if you're feeling good physically,
Yeah.
and everything falls in place. Do you ever go back and think about the first semester that you were here and think, wow, how did I do that? Like, do you ever reflect on that and where you are now?
Oh yeah. You know, my past dictates where I am right now. And from what my past tells me is, I felt those classes, yes, they were 100% my fault. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, I can recall what I was doing. I was eating fast food 3 times a day. I would wake up as I'm driving to school, I get McDonald's drive-through, and that's not a good way to start off your morning. As well as, during lunch we got Chick-fil-A, duck bowl, I'm getting a Chick-fil-A sandwich. Okay, as I'm going home. Let's just say from work, I'm going online, looking at Domino's, I'm calling them, I'm ordering a pizza. Like my health was not there at all, and although most times people do it, people are able to let's say just do school and they might be like having some issues. To me, it's like if I don't feel good, I don't perform good. I take that very seriously,
Yeah.
and I'm not saying that's the reason why I failed, because 100% is because I wasn't focused enough. But at the same time, that does play a factor to me. The food I was eating was not there at all. My health was right down here, and it was bad.
Again, it's interesting though because you're able to say, okay, it wasn't just that. I mean, there was more to it, but definitely how I felt physically, you again attribute that to how you perform everywhere else. That's interesting. What do your parents say now? I mean, how did they react when you started doing better?
Well, when I started doing better, my dad is very strict. He's a very strict man. He's a rougher gentleman. So he's telling me, okay, you're doing good. I'll continue to do good. If you don't do good, then you know what? Everything that we've told you, we're right about you. When we said that, oh, you keep doing this, so you're not gonna do it. Don't prove us wrong, pretty
Yeah.
much. I take that seriously. Like I take it personal. My dad, I love my father. He is, like I said, he's a man I idolize, but he's a very rough gentleman. He's very strict. He tells me in that perspective, tough love, tough love. He used so much tough love. So when I was doing better, he's telling me, okay, continue. You know what? We won't celebrate until you graduate. That's the way it works.
Hey, that's pretty good though. I mean, and how does your mom react? Is she more on the softer side?
Yes. Yeah, she is more on the soft side. She's telling me, oh, you're doing good. Keep going on. You're doing amazing.
It's a healthy balance. You got your tough love from your dad, and then your mom over there on the other side encouraging you. It sounds like you've got a really good set of parents.
Oh yeah, amazing. I love them. They are amazing.
And would you consider them your role models?
Of course, 100%. They've made a lot of mistakes in life, as well as they are making sure I make those same mistakes. Both of them didn't finish college. They're making sure that I don't fall down that path because they always preach college to me. And when I started messing up in college, they were on me. Like, you're gonna pass, right? No ifs or buts. You are gonna pass.
Yeah.
You know, they kept having that, induct into my mind, and therefore, yeah, I gotta give them, you know, I honor everything they say, but I do take everything they said. I take it very seriously.
Yeah.
They, like you said, it's a balance of both. My dad, rougher, my mom,
Yeah.
softer, and
But
take them both seriously.
but many people would react differently. Like you idolize your dad, even though he's very strict. A lot of people might say, "Well, he's too strict," and kind of work against that. But you decided, "Oh, this is what I need," and so I idolize it. Yeah, I mean, you could react differently. I'm saying that some people react negatively.
I think it's just based on, perspective of like how they feel about it. In my, the way I was always raised, you're a man, there is going to be the best times in your life, and it's going to be the worst of the worst times of your life. When it's the worst of the worst, you got to be man enough to take it on the chin. You have to, work on your character as well.
Yeah.
Life is hard enough. And I always, everything my father tells me, the way he says it, I don't take it as, oh my God, like, what is he saying? Like, why would he tell me that? I take it like, it's real. It's, you know what? It is facts. Everything he said. He's never been wrong about anything he's ever said about me. He's there to make sure I stay focused. And when I'm not being focused, he'll make sure that he's left me around enough to get back into focus. Because that's, not many people can have that in their life. Sometimes you need someone to help you with that. And, I'm blessed that, my father was able to do that to me. He's still doing that to this day. There's things that go around, life happens. You could be up here one week, you could have one bad day, and he is training me. I want to see, I'll put it in that perspective. He is conditioning me enough to realize that that's life. That's gonna happen 1,000 more times.
Yeah, what an amazing story, Danny. It sounds like parents are amazing, and so congratulations to them for being the way they are with you, and congratulations to you. Do you have a favorite fighter?
Favorite fighter? I have a couple, but
Boxing or MMA?
I'll do one boxing. I'll do one MMA. There's one fighter that right now he's pound for pound. This guy goes by the name of Jesse Bam Rodriguez.
Okay.
A little short guy like myself, but incredible skills. Impeccable skills. His defense is impregnable. He is just ferocious. He is amazing. I've never seen him live. I would love to though. But when I'm training for my actual boxing, I kind of take some pieces from him because amazing. Like wow, like the footwork is amazing.
Yeah.
On the MMA side, currently my favorite fighter, there is a certain heavyweight named Tom Aspinall, and he is a British fighter. He's actually fighting this weekend.
Okay.
He is another guy, amazing. He is 6'6", nearly 300 pounds, maybe 250. But he moves like he is a small guy. He is so fast, immaculate hands. He is a well-rounded guy and an amazing fighter.
And it's more impressive when they're that big. Isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's what that is.
It's amazing, Danny. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I'm very into comedy. Scary Movie 2. I love it. Love it.
Favorite music?
I like a little bit of everything, but most of mine is a little bit of pop and country as well.
Anything you want to mention that I didn't mention here or ask you?
Nothing at all. Covered everything very well. It's amazing day as always.
Sounds good. Well, thank you very much, Danny. Congratulations. I'm glad you made it back from the way you started, and you're on the right path. You have a really good future.
So,
Congratulations. Thank you for your time.
so much.
Thank you.